fair, press some head, let's get in the car, I said. She grabbed my hand, girls rescue, met the bar, witness said. Tears fled the head, I'm weak, now there she tweet, I guess she confess. She thinking less, not drinking less. Bathroom says, best it gets, spontaneous, our stereotype. Put to rest tonight. Imagine, believe, and achieve, it works. Skyline as a rise like fireworks. Smell through the bad, don't touch my...
Hey, hello everybody, and welcome to this edition of After the Storm, your OKC Thunder post-game analysis live stream. Of course, the Thunder had a road game against the Memphis Grizzlies, who were the second-place team in the West. Thunder took care of business without Chet, without Dort, without Caruso, and without A.J. Mitchell. So kind of like what I did. Hey, Hotspot, what's going on? Kind of like what I saw overall. I still don't like Dagnall's playing of J-Dub. It really baffles me. And those people that support it, it just drives me crazy because I'm just like, how do you play a guy who's not one of the top 20-something players in the league, above one of the guys who's one of the top three, if not the best player in the league? How does he play more minutes? And it's really easy because this guy's a developmental coach, and he's developing J-Dub, and people really believe, the Thunder people believe that he's be better than SGA. Y'all need to get fired. There's no way. That's just like when you made the decision to sorry, let me get this off the screen. It's driving me crazy. Just like when you made the decision to keep Russell Westbrook over Kevin Durant when you made sure he was your player. The Thunder are going to go right back to where it was. The only difference is Sam Presti's going to continue to have draft picks. And but I'm wore out on Dagnall. I'm sorry. I'm wore out on the minutes manager. I'm wore out on his lack of lineups, his lack of he damn near cost us the game tonight because of his lineups. It just floors me. It just absolutely floors me the way that he does what he does. It's pathetic. It's frustrating. Now, for all of you all who don't get it, I understand. You guys, y'all don't care, and I get it. I get y'all's point of view. I really do. When you're sitting on the outside and you don't understand the intricacies of what he's doing, and you're just all you can go by is he's winning. Well, yeah, you don't understand. Frustrating as hell. But anyway, done talking about him. Big story tonight, Hotspot. Aaron Wiggins was ridiculous tonight. He played great. The foul calls were, I agree, Hotspot. The foul calls tonight were just, what the hell are they looking at? What are they seeing? And I'm sorry, for the team that fouls the most in the NBA, for them to shoot, 39 free throws to our 20, whatever it was, that's ridiculous. SGA had 5 fouls. J-Dub had 5 fouls. iHeart had 5 fouls. I'm sorry, for a team that fouls the most against a team who drives the most, and they should end up shooting 17 or 15, 16 more free throws than the team that is more aggressive, the team that drives the most against the team that fouls the most. But the other team gets more foul call, more free throw. It's just pathetic. He has been consistent, Aaron Wiggins. Yes, he has, Burgess, but it's like we had talked about. We love Aaron Wiggins. We wanted him to play more. We didn't understand why he wasn't playing Aaron Wiggins more. Agreed? We all understand that. We're all frustrated why he never played Aaron Wiggins more. He's too busy playing Jang and everything else. So, hey, no. Stop. He's playing more, and I just don't understand it. Hey, Rashawn, what's up? That DG, J. Will, Kenny, SGA, and Joe lineup was brutal. Yes, bro. We go on a run when J-Dub's on the bench. I've been saying this forever. It is what it is. No matter what the coach tries to sugarcoat it, no matter what he tries to put together, that and when his boy, his guy is on the bench, the Thunder make a run. It just does. It's I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that group, but Rashawn, you're right. That it's brutal. They just the Thunder. This is the thing. No matter what Dagnall does, they're -3 with SGA on the bench, and they're plus 15, 16 with him in the game. No matter what he tries to do, no matter how these people try to watch and try to sugarcoat it, those are the facts. You're better with SGA in the game than on the bench. But you're trying to build J-Dub up. You're trying to sugarcoat it. You're trying to make him the guy, and he's never going to be the guy. He doesn't have the handles. He is a perfect number 3. 2 now. Nathan, who's not coming on tonight, believes he's a 3. I think he's 2B. Chet's 2A. He's 2B. 3A, whatever. That's where I think he is. So I just don't. I just don't get it. But he is determined to play. This is the second game in a row that SGA. Because I'm gonna say this: the foul that SGA committed. Hey, go to your room. Go lay down. Go. The foul that SGA committed at the end of the third quarter to give them a 4-point play. That was idiotic. Then they come out and get another 4-point play. Then they come out and get a knockdown. They scored 11 points and 14 points in a row. It's just ridiculous. I'm like, what just happened? But once again, when you let a team start getting in it, hey, what did I say? No. Don't get in trouble. Stop. Anyway, sorry, that's my dog. Hotspot. I like J-Dub, but when I watch him play, it's like I feel forced watching him play because he's trying to. He knows he has the green light with the coach. He knows he's the dude. He knows as far as the coach is concerned. He knows. Rashawn, I knew what you meant. That was definitely an interesting lineup. I'm sorry. This is the thing. I'm gonna go back over this. When Isaiah Joe went in for J-Dub, the score was 23-14 with 4 minutes to go. At the end of it, he brings J-Dub back in the game to shoot the last 3, and we messed up a 2-for-1. Because why? He put the ball in J-Dub's hands instead of SGA's hands. SGA's are always going to get us a 2-for-1. J-Dub doesn't get it. He doesn't have the skill set to be able to do that. But once again, Dagnall is trying to build him up. No matter what all these idiots come back and say, whatever people tell me, I'm like, you're dumb. You're not paying attention. I don't want to say dumb. You're not paying attention. Focus on what I'm saying, then come back and tell me I'm different. Guess what? I ain't going to hear from your ass. Anything I'm saying, you can't come back. I'm never going to hear from you. When you come back and try to rebut me, I'm not hearing from you. Because you're going to see exactly what I see. And it's frustrating. Sorry. Second quarter. Leaving J-Dub in there again. They make a run again with J-Dub on the bench. It is what it is. You can't hide. Dagnall cannot hide. The minutes manager can't hide it. He can't. It is what it is. Dylan Jones, why he's even playing, I agree, Rashawn. Why is Dylan Jones playing? Because he has a plan. If Chang's not going to play, Dylan Jones is going to play. And we were talking about this at the gym today. This guy was like, well, Dagnall, he believes in playing 10 or 11 players. I said, I know that. In the playoffs, what did they say early on ESPN? They're talking about the playoffs come, you got to whittle it down. Teams are making moves to whittle it down to 8 or 9 players. Now, we do have 11 who can play, but not at one time. Instead of these 2 guys may not play, picking on who you choose. Who's going to play where? 100%. But you can't play 11 because it takes you out of the flow. But once again, he doesn't understand flow of the game. He doesn't understand lineups, and he's a minutes manager. And what all teams do to us that beat us in the second quarter, when he gives SJ that extra 2 minutes on the bench and gives J-Dub that extra 2 minutes on the court by himself before he gets pulled, teams make their run. Last game it happened, we got outscored 85-66. These are facts, people. You can go back and look. And like I said, pay attention to what I'm saying. You can call me a hater. You can call me whatever the hell you want. Go back and pay attention to what I'm saying and what he does. Look at the score, and then you make up your own mind. And come back and holler at me. If I'm wrong, I won't hear from you. I won't hear from you. Kenny should be in the lineup. What a smart point guard plays. Kenny is really smart, and if you cut the best, Kenny is not the guy. Hotspot. Kenny is not the guy. I don't want him. I want him. I want SGA to be the facilitator. I want everybody else to play off of him. When you do that, the Thunder is successful. And we've talked about this. The others, which is what they're called, which is J-Dub, Kendrick Williams, Kaysen, Caruso, uh, uh, Isaiah Joe, and Wiggins. The others, and Dort. The others, if we're knocking down threes, we're not going to get beat. SGA had a bad game, but Wiggins stepped up. He was knocking down threes. He had 8 threes tonight. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and just catching and shooting, don't try to go to the basket, don't try to create plays, you're fine. J-Dub tries to complete, he doesn't have the handles, and once again, he loses the ball. And he looks over to the coach smacks him on the butt like it's okay, leaves him in the game. We're in a text chain. They're like, SGA's still not in the game yet. Nope, still not in the game. Because Dagnall is the minutes manager is managing his boys' minutes. This is the second game in a row. Now you tell me, how in the hell can he play more minutes than SGA? Okay? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Hotspot. He's not a point guard at all. A point guard has handles. He doesn't have handles. So he's not a point guard. What Kenny is, he's a 4. He's a 5 that's trying to play 4 a little bit, but he's a 5. He can't guard out on the wing. He doesn't have the foot speed, but he's physical enough to play inside. That's what K Rich is. Plain and simple. That's what he is. He is a 5 that can do a little bit of a 4, but I don't want him trying to pass. I don't want him trying to make plays. I want him catching and shooting and hustling like he did earlier tonight. And it was that third, fourth quarter when we got all those rebounds. I want him hustling, and I want him playing up, D'ing up the big man. That's all I want from him. All I'm saying is, if you want to go down the list, Dort, I don't want you doing nothing but shooting threes and kind of occasionally cutting to the basket, catching the ball, finish, or getting a rebound, playing defense. That's what I want from you. Ihart, I want you shooting your floaters. I want you playing defense. I want you rebounding, blocking shots when you get a chance. J-Dub, I don't want you trying to make handles. I don't want you trying to take the ball, everybody up. I want you to play within the system, catch the ball, cut to the basket, make your move. Don't be trying to do a bunch of stuff. Everybody's trying to do SGA's left-handed layup now. Wiggins trying to do it. J-Dub's dude, I understand you're trying to do what this guy does, but none of y'all are skilled enough to do what he does. Very few people in the NBA are as skilled as he is. Period. But all I'm saying is, to me, you can see the writing on the wall of what's going to happen based on what this guy is doing. How do you lose to Dallas 3 times? And by the way, all of y'all, I was talking to some guys the other night, and they texted me after Dallas busted up Houston. But Houston's not the same team without Jabari. Okay? They don't have an SGA, so they don't have anybody to maintain and get them where they need to be. They don't have anybody who's a stopper. What SGA is, when another team gets a flow, you have to have a stopper. Hotspot, I like him at the 3 personally because of his size, but that's just me. Well, Hotspot, he can't guard. He doesn't have the foot speed to guard a 3. That's my point. He doesn't have the foot speed to be able to guard perimeter. That's why you have that's why you have Caruso. That's why you have Dort. That's why you have Kaysen is to guard the perimeter. He can't guard the perimeter. Joe can't guard the perimeter. They just can't. They are inside. He's an inside guy is what he is. He's a 4 or 5, not a swing, not a stretch 4, but a post-up 4 or 5. That's where K. Rich does his damage, period. And I like him, but that's where he belongs. You got Isaiah Joe. If Isaiah Joe's not knocking down threes, come sit down next to me. That's how I look at it. I'm just breaking down where guys are, what makes them fit. Dagnall is trying to develop players. Look, people at this level, you're set where you're going to be. If Wiggins was so good, why are you waiting to now to try to get him to do all these things? And I like Wiggins. I want you shooting threes. When you try to go to the basket and do a bunch of things too many times, you're gonna succeed one time, and you're gonna have 2 times that you're gonna screw up. And what if we said many, many times, trying to get it through people's head? The biggest thing you can understand about the playoffs is you get 5 to 7 less possessions. Because everybody's going at the end of the clock. You're not going to have a lot. It's more physical. You're going to get less possessions. So you can't afford to give away possessions based on playing lineups because you did that during the year. It's a different game. It's way more physical. The referees let things go. You can't waste by putting Dylan Jones on the floor. And I like Dylan. He ain't ready. Jane, he ain't ready. K. Rich, I want him on the floor in spots. But I want SGA. I want J-Dub. I want Caruso. I want Kaysen. I want Dort. I want Chet. And I want Ihart. And then if Joe's hit some shots, great, bring him in. If Wiggins has hit some shots, great. But I'm still going to use Wiggins because he can D somebody up. Joe can't. He's going to get used. If he's not making threes, he can't play. That's our lineup. That's who we are. Now, you got K-Rich, you got J. Will that you can bring in. But when you stretch that past those 7, and then you add in the 8 and 9, and that's Joe and Wiggins. But it's SGA, it's J-Dub, it's Chet, it's Ihart, it's Dort, it's Kaysen, it's Caruso. That's where it's at. Then you've got Joe and you've got Wiggins. That's your 9. Then if you can add K-Rich when he's necessary or needed, or you can add J. Will here and there when he's needed, but for the most part, you need Ihart or Chet on the floor in the playoffs. Because you can't afford to give away possessions. Because if you're giving, let's say, for example, you play the wrong lineup, 2 possessions. That's 4 to 6 points. Well, 4 to 6 points in the fourth quarter can mean a win or loss because you gave away points in the second quarter. He did it last year. And that's all I'm trying to get you guys to understand. It's a matter of not giving away points. You can't give away possessions because you're playing lineups, because that's what we did during the year. This ain't the year. This is the playoffs. Every game counts. It's the best of 7. You can't afford to give away possessions that can cost you a game in a 7-game series. That's a fact. The question is, can he do it? Can he understand SGA, he needs to play more minutes than anybody on your team? Number 1. Number 2, you can't just play random guys who don't belong on the floor. You can't go 10 or 11 deep. You can't do it. That's number 2. Number 3, you have to understand that you are better and you make a 2 or 3 minute run with J-Dub on the bench. And if he can stick to putting J-Dub on the bench in the fourth quarter for the 2 to 3 minutes, the Thunder will win. If he can't do that, the Thunder are going to struggle and lose games in the fourth quarter because he doesn't get it. Because he's trying to build J-Dub up. Because he has no credit points with SGA at all. And then the only players he can get credits for are who? J-Dub, Chet, Kaysen, AJ when he comes back. Now, AJ, I like AJ playing with the second group, 100%. Jeremy Charles, Kendrick Williams is not that good to me. He's good where he needs to be for what we're trying to do, Jeremy. Hotspot is way sold on him. 2 years ago, he was not a beast. He's the same guy. He's the same guy he's always been. He can't guard the 3. He can barely guard the 4, but he's a 5 guy. When we go small ball, I love K-Rich. Because he's going to bring the guys out. He's going to stretch the opposing team's bigs, but yet he can rebound and do what he needs to do. He's very physical inside. But he doesn't have the foot speed to guard the 3 or the 4 if it's a stretch 4. If it's a physical 4, I'm all about Kendrick being in the game. But like I said, I want Chet and Ihart on the floor if one is not in the other. Now, if we're going to go small, I don't mind putting K-Rich. I don't want J. Will in there. Unless they've got a big, gigantic 5 that, Ihart's in trouble, Chet's in trouble, then you put J. Will in there to make sure that he stays at the 4. That's where the Thunder are. That's where they need to be. But as I text Chain tonight, the lineups, I'm like, dude, what? He is so frustrating to me. Because you can see when he does certain lineups what's going to happen. And you can see him over there stressing about it. But I'm going to tell you this. How do you have the MVP of the NBA and you sit him for 8-9 minutes in the fourth quarter of a game that's getting close? The MVP of the league. And you've got a guy who the only reason he's an all-star is because we're the number 1 seed in the West and the best record in the NBA. If Chet was here, he would not be an all-star. It'd be Chet, which nobody would have a problem with. Because if you pay attention to anything other than the Thunder, national media will tell you, it's SGA, Chet, then J-Dub. But in Oklahoma City Thunder, it's J-Dub first, then SGA, then Chet. Like last night, how the hell Chet comes back and you're playing J-Dub and Chet and Ihart together, not really SGA with them? Really? There's not one time you didn't have J-Dub on the floor, on the bench, and you were playing those guys for extended minutes. But you're playing those 3 extended minutes with SGA on the bench last night. SGA don't even see the court the whole fourth quarter to last night. J-Dub plays 30-something minutes. He turns around. He plays 9 minutes of the third quarter. Fourth quarter tonight, SGA plays 3 minutes. I don't understand how you all don't see that. How that doesn't bother you that you have the MVP of the NBA who's probably going to win it, and then you got a guy who's not in the top 25, not in the top 30, playing more minutes than him, and that does not faze anyone. That does not bother anybody at all. I don't understand it, except those of us who are just going, who are not paying attention to the peripheral. We're watching what's going on, and we're frustrated as hell. I was talking about some guys at the gym today. We're frustrated as hell. We're like, how come people don't see it? I'm like, all they're watching is, look, we're winning. They're not paying attention. Ryan Wadrup, Rocky and Rhino. What's up, fellas? What's up, guys? Ricky and Rhino. Hey, guys, what's up? Hotspot, that fat rookie needs to be traded. He's a wasted pick. I like Dylan Jones. He may be something later. And he's trying to slide him in there just like he did Jane. But to me, when you know that a guy's not the guy, you let him go. Oh, we made a mistake, move on. Remember Poku? What we kept him around, we knew after the first year, this guy ain't the guy. Develop. No, you're not developing him. Jane, you're not developing him. Baisley, you're not developing him. But you got a developmental coach who's developing players. Well, we're developed now. We don't need developmental players. We need players who can help us win. We need players who can consistently perform in the playoff when the pressure's the highest. Guys who can hit a wide open three. Not now, but in the playoffs when it counts. Because none of them were existing last year. They all disappeared. And they were like, well, SGA's first year with the Clippers, he killed them in the playoffs. He was killing them in the playoffs. Either you can play or you can't. When the moments get big, you're either there or you're not. Your coach can't develop that. Either you step up when the times are tight, when the time gets when the lights are the brightest, or you don't. It ain't, no coach is gonna develop that. Either you got it or you don't. Either you're there or you're not. That's facts. Nobody's gonna develop somebody into something. Oh, well, he's gonna turn into a no. You're either there or you're not. James Harden, he's not. He hasn't been his whole career. He's just not. Consistently, he's not going to do that. Now, does he have a game here and there? 100%. But he's not. Everybody knows. Playoffs, Lamar Jackson, great in the season. Playoffs, as of now. I remember Peyton Manning was the same way, running into Tom Brady. And then once he got past Tom Brady, he beat him the last 10 times he saw him. So, there you go. But you got to get in the playoffs enough for the players to understand what pressure is. And we could have did it 2 years ago that we didn't do it, and we did it last year. We could have did it 2 years ago when we won 40. And it cracks me up that all of these people who think they know about basketball, not one of you damn SOBs said we're going to win 40 games. I'm the only one who did that. And everybody told me I was crazy. Everybody told me the Thunder aren't going to win 40 games, won 40. And should have won more, but the coach was too busy experimenting, and they were trying to lose because they didn't want to get out of the running. And I'm like, what are you doing? Let's go. Let's get into the playoffs because next year we're going to be ready to go, and we're going to have a year that we're just trying to get here, and then the next year, which was last year, we'll be ready to go. But instead, you wasted the year before, and then this year, what happened? Last year, you weren't ready. So you wasted a year when you could have used that year. And myself, I was talking about it with other people, Mark Long, the commander, Randy Wright. We were all talking about, hey, let's get in the playoffs and give these guys some action so they'll know next year when we're really up and ready to go, we get Chet back. We'll be ready to go. Didn't do it. So you get to the playoffs last year, wasn't ready. Coach wasn't ready. Players weren't ready. That was it. Let me see. I was screaming for SGA to come back in the game. No doubt, Ryan. We all were. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's pathetic. Vincent Dylan Jones is too raw, but time will tell. We agree, bro. Time will tell with J-Dub. 100%. I mean, excuse me, with Dylan. But we're saying right now, you're throwing in him 9 minutes here and there, and you can just look at him. He's a deer in headlights. He's not ready. You look at Jang, deer in headlights. They're not ready. They're not ready. And putting them in a situation to where there's pressure because the other team is a 50-50 game is not going to help them. But in this coach, developmental coach's mind, let's get him in there. Let's get him used to the pressure. That's how he thinks. Jeff, they were shorthanded tonight, so that's why Dylan Jones got a few minutes. Dylan Jones got a few minutes the other night. We weren't shorthanded. He's playing him. It's either Jang or him he's playing. He's trying to develop these guys. That's what he's doing. And I don't mind him last night against Toronto. They're terrible. Hey, give him those minutes, but you try to put him in a situation where it's pressurized, they ain't there. Okay? I don't think Dylan Jones will be getting more minutes than Kaysen, but that's just me. He shouldn't be. He's taking minutes away from guys that you're going to need in the playoffs. But once again, you have a developmental coach. And your coach is trying to develop players, get them used to the pressure, and it's causing you the games to be closer. That's all I'm saying. That's what he's doing. But for him to play Jada more minutes than SGA is pathetic. That tells me you don't know. I mean, I can promise you, Oklahoma City Thunder we have the only coach that will play a guy who's not the MVP more minutes than the MVP. Dagnall's the only coach to do that. Out of the 30 teams, you have one. He coaches the Thunder. And I call him the SGA cooler. That's what I call him. He's the SGA cooler. That's what I call him, because that's what he does. Nobody can stop SGA but Dagnall. He's the guy who stops him because he wants J-Dub to be the man. The Thunder want J-Dub to be the guy because they believe, and a lot of people, I saw this the other day, that they believe Topic is like SGA. I go, he's a poor man's SGA if he comes back and he's 90% of what he was projected to be, but he ain't SGA. Ain't no way. That's like trying to call somebody's Luka. They are unique players. SGA doesn't get in a hurry. Luka doesn't get in a hurry. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to get in the spot. Jokic doesn't get in a hurry. Giannis just manhandles you. There's nothing you can do because he's just so damn physical. But SGA, he's going to get to his spot. He's going to do what he does, and he's either going to be missed or he's not. And remember this, guys. There's only been 3 guys to average 30, have 2 steals and a block in a season, and 5 rebounds. That's Michael Jordan, SGA, and Dwayne Wade. And then SGA is getting ready to do it twice. And there's only been one person who can do it more than once, and that would be who? Michael Jordan. So you've got a guy who's doing that versus a guy you're developing. And you're playing him more. And you're like, to me the other night, it's like, why SGA is killing and you sitting for 7 minutes in the second quarter. And he's got 21 or 19, 21. At the end of the first, he's cooking. And you sitting for 7 minutes. No other coach would do that except the cooler, the SGA cooler, the minutes manager. That's what he does. And he can try to get mad. Like somebody's like, well, what would you say to him in his face? I'd ask him in his face, bro, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Give me a reason, a real reason, not some bullshit. Give me a reason why you play J-Dub more. Give me a reason why you sit SGA for 7 minutes. And don't come at me with, oh, well, I'm trying to manage. No, don't come at me with that. He plays 12 minutes the first quarter, 12 minutes the third quarter. That's 24 minutes. And if you put him at the 5-minute mark, which is what you do, okay, that's 29 minutes. And in the fourth quarter, you put him with 3 minutes to go today. So if you put him with 5 minutes, that puts him at what? 34 minutes. Okay. So you're telling me that when you feel the other team making a run, you can't put him in there for 2 extra minutes? And the bottom line is this, coach. You are a -3 with him on the bench. You're plus 15, 16 with him in the game, but yet you keep him out longer. What is your reasoning again? Why don't you go tell that to somebody who know what the hell you're talking about? Go talk that to him, because that bullshit you're going to talk to me, I'm going to go, you're full of shit. Give me the real reason. I want to hear the real reason. That ain't it. So you're talking to somebody who's knowledgeable. So don't give me the bullshit. Tell me what's up. Why are you doing that? Because this is why I think, now you look me down and tell me I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, why am I wrong? He ain't going to be able to talk. I can promise you. Let me see. Jang has way too much time on this franchise. What I said, Hotspot, remember, who was the first guy? Poku. Who was the second guy? Baisley. Or was it Baisley first, then Poku? That they tried when, look, you know somebody can play or they can't play. Us basketball players, when you played against somebody on the court or the football field or the baseball, you know if somebody can play. And what I tell everybody all day long, basketball is, along with hockey is probably the same, is the one sport you know if somebody's better than you. You know if they're better than you. You can't hide it. No matter what the hell the coach tries to say, whatever, you know if somebody's better than you are on the basketball court. 5-on-5, ain't nowhere to hide, it ain't all the space. 5-on-5, you know somebody better than you. Can't hide. And it's frustrating to me. Let's take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and finish up and get answer some of your questions as well as go over the board. I want to thank SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, and planning, hit my guy Mark Long up. They love to be behind the scenes if you have a new complex that you're building, or if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, hit these guys up. They love to take care of you. And as we always say, who the hell don't like clean drinking water? Oak Grove Trucking, my boy Jose, he's got a great truck. I think he's getting ready to add another one. He's getting very, very busy. So if you got dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit my boy up. He will take care of you. And of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses. And by the way, guys, if y'all know a woman-owned business in Oklahoma City that you want us to go out and support, please hit me up in the chat or send me a message or whatever, and we'll look at and try to come by and see a woman-owned businesses, because we need more of those to be able to go and hang out with and promote, okay? You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com, or you can go to one of their 5 locations. The main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40. You can't miss it, right in front of the hospital. And, of course, YNB Peoples, located in Bethany, between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then my guy, Elm Grove Clothing. If you watch Kendrick Perkins on TV and how he's dressed up, this man right here is the one that's dressing him up. So hit our guy, Jonathan Bickey Triplet, up, okay? He can take care of you. And why spend $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for a suit when you can spend $800 to $1,000, and he will take care of you. So now let's go back and let's look at the box score tonight, okay, guys? J-Dub. I thought J-Dub played pretty good. His handles are still turning the ball over. This is what he does, which is why we miss A.J. Hotspot. You're right about A.J. Mitchell. Changed my mind about him, big guy. Jalen Williams, J-Dub, 37 minutes, 12 for 20, 1 for 5 from 3, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 4 turnovers, 25 points. I thought he played pretty good tonight. Ihart, 32 minutes, 5 for 9. 2 for 2 from free throw line. Hey, how about that? Love Ihart going 2 for 2. 14 rebounds, another double-double, 12 points, 4 assists. And then SGA did not play well, I didn't think. 34 minutes, 8 for 26. Missing a lot of shots that he normally makes. How many layups did he miss tonight that he normally makes? Then missing 3 free throws. I mean, seriously? Seriously? 3 free throws? Come on, dude. 0 rebounds. When's the last time SGA had 0 rebounds? I don't remember when the hell that was, okay? And then you come back and what do you have? 8 assists, 2 blocks, no steals, 32 points, plus 18, which I still don't get that. So once again, 34 points, 32 minutes, and 34 points. It's crazy. Caruso, 5 for 10. Dang, I really, really like Caruso. So do y'all. I like me some Caruso. I really like him. Great addition, Sam Presti. Great pickup. Aaron Wiggins, once again, 38 minutes, 9 for 18, 8 for 13 from the field, from three-point line. I mean, like I said, I don't want him doing nothing but knocking down threes. Just spot up, brother, and finish. And then when they come out on you, got a weak defender, take him. But just thinking you got handles, Ja will pick your pocket, and they almost did several times. Dude, you just don't have the handles to be that kind of guy. You're a role player, so know your role and keep yourself in that and then handle your business. But anyway, 26 points, 11 rebounds. Aaron Wiggins played great tonight. Jay Will, 14 minutes, 1 for 3. Jay Will had, what was he? I have that in here. Where is that stat at? He had been 0 for 11 before he made that. So he knocked down threes. And remember, Wiggins had been 2 for 24 at one point, and now he's just knocking down threes. So, and like we said on the show when he was doing that, hey, don't worry about it, big fella. Keep shooting, and it's best if you're going to go through a lull, go through one now, because we had Isaiah Joe knocking down 50% of his threes in the month of January. Dylan Jones, 8 minutes, 1 for 3, 0 for 1, misses free throw and 1 rebound, 2 points. And I'm with a lot of you guys. 8 minutes, I would like to give that to somebody else. Kendrick Williams, K. Rich, 23 minutes, 8 rebounds. I thought he played pretty good. 4 assists. I thought he played good. 2 steals, 6 points. Great night tonight to me, what I saw out of Kendricks. And then, of course, Isaiah Joe, 25 minutes, 1 for 7, 1 for 6, had a bad night shooting the 3. And if he's not knocking down threes, I really don't want him out there. That's just the kind of way I look at it. But here's the thing. We shot 21 free throws. They shot 39. And we are the number 1 driving team in the league. They are the number 1 fouling team in the league. And they shot 18 more free throws than us. I still don't understand that one. I maybe somebody can help me. I really don't understand it. But the bottom line is this. The Thunder handled their business. Big win. That's number 1. Number 2, we won without Chet, without Dort, without Kaysen, and we're going to be without AJ for a while, but I'm still going to throw the young man in there because I really like him with that other group in there when SJ's on the bench. Because we have a ball handler and J-Dub is not out there handling the ball, because I can promise you everybody knows he can't handle the ball. I can promise you're going to start coming at him. Burgess, is there a scenario in the foreseeable future of a lineup in the playoffs that has J-Dub coming off the bench? If he has a slow playoff start, that's never going to happen. That's the coach's due. That's his project. That's who he's bringing up. That's not going to happen. But I can promise you this. When we go back to ESPN and we go back to national TV, if J-Dub is playing more minutes than SGA, more than a couple times like he's doing this, then people are going to start to wonder about what is this guy doing. SGA's the MVP. Now he's got a chance to showcase. He wants him on his team. And by the way, here's the All-Star lineup, okay, guys? The 3 teams. Here are the 3 teams right here. So we're going to go over that. Because right now I know that Team Candace is coaching Kenny's team, okay? She's coaching Barkley's team. And Shaq and Kenny are going to be coached by the coaches from Kenny Atkinson from the Cavaliers and Dagnall, our coach from the Thunder. So those 2 coaches will be coaching. One of them will be coaching Shaq's team, and one of them will be coaching Kenny's team. And I can bet you, when you look at it, you've got Darius Garland, you got Mobley on Kenny's team, okay? And on Shaq's team, you've got you don't have any of his players. So I'm thinking that J-Dub, even though he's on Kenny's team, he is going. Coach Dagnall will coach Shaq's team, and I think Kenny Atkinson's going to want to coach his own players, which is Darius Garland and Mobley, because both of those guys are on his team. And Barkley's team is done by Candace Parker, so she'll be coaching that team, and that has Donovan Mitchell. But the team, I don't see as a coach. I'm not going to let somebody else. Barkley is stacked. I'm with you. I think Barkley's team is ridiculous. He's got SGA, he's got Jokic, he's got Giannis, he's got Wemby. He's big. He's got guys who can get the ball, and Şengün is no slouch. So think about this. Look at your guards. Your guards are Donovan Mitchell and SGA. Those are your guards. Shaq is not bad. He's got LeBron, he's got AD, KD, and Curry. So he went old school, is what LeBron did. LeBron went old school. AD, KD, Curry, LeBron. He went old school. Then he added Jason Tatum and then Jaylen Brown. So he got the Celtics in there. And then, of course, he's got Dame. So your guards are Dame. You got Jason Tatum who can play guard. You got Steph Curry as your guard. LeBron can play guard. James Harden can play guard. So you got a bunch of guards, but your bigs are who? KD and AD. But you basically said, I'm going to have one big inside, and that's going to be AD, but AD can still stretch it out. But I'm just going to have guys who can short. Kenny, Ant-Man, Brunson, Jaren Jackson Jr., one middle guy. Cade Cunningham, congratulations, Cade. Go Pokes. Darius Garland, Mobley, J-Dub, and Hero. Tyler Hero from the Heat. And when you look at the squad, you're just like, oh my God, look at this team. But I think that Kenny Atkinson will coach Kenny's team, and I think Shaq will have Mark Dagnall will coach that team. Okay, that's kind of how I look at it, because if I'm a coach, I want to coach my players. So I'm not going to let some other coach Darius Garland and Mobley. I mean, would you guys? Would you let somebody else coach your players? I'm not. I want to coach my own guys. I don't want somebody else coaching my guys. But that's just me. You know, I want to coach my own players. I don't want somebody else coaching my players. I mean, the hell with that. I'm coaching my players. So anyway, that's kind of how the All-Star team is broken down in the picks. And I agree. Barkley's team, oh my God. You got SGA and Jokic, and you got Giannis. So you got 3 of the top 5 best NBA, the best players in the NBA on one team. Your top 5. But I will say this. This is part of my thing, talking about the All-Star game. We were talking about that the other day. And I said this, and I'm going to get you guys' opinion. We're talking about the All-Star game. And I said to make the game more meaningful, do what baseball did. Baseball said, okay, whoever wins the All-Star game will be the home squad for the World Series. I say do the same thing for basketball. Whoever wins the All-Star game, that's the team that hosts. If it's the East or the West, whoever wins will be the team that hosts. Will be the home squad for the finals. That's how I look at it. I can promise you, you don't think the Thunder is going to be balling to make sure that the West win, and the West players are going to be balling because, and the East players are going to be balling. Yeah, all that nonsense, they ain't going to be throwing the ball away. Who wants to go on the road? The playoffs is a lot harder to beat somebody on the road in the playoffs than it is during the season. I can promise you, trying to come to Oklahoma City, even though Dallas beat us, they beat us twice here. They beat us game 5 here, and they beat us game, 2 here? Whatever it was. I think it was either game 1 or game 5 or game 2 and game 5. Whatever, they beat us here twice. And then, of course, the SGA closed them out in game 4 and should have closed them out in game 6. But bottom line is you got to do the little things. Jay Will cannot be giving up offensive rebounds on a free throw. Up 1. You make sure you secure the basketball. That's number 1. So, that being said, the Thunder, just made another point, I think, tonight by doing what they did to Memphis. Because, number 1, our defense is ridiculous. Our defense is ridiculous. And eventually what happens is if you don't make the mistakes Coach Dagnall in the second quarter by sitting SGA for 7 minutes, because there's a break about 6:45 or 6:48, 6:50, somewhere there's a break. That's a perfect time to bring SGA back in the game instead of sitting him for another minute and costing you points because the other team is making a run. When other teams make a run, you got to have your stopper. That's not J-Dub. That's not Wiggins. That's not Ihart. That's not Chet. That's not Kaysen. That's not Caruso. That's not Joe. That's SGA. That's your stopper. And if you're a coach and don't understand that, you need to be fired. But once again, like Stephen A. Smith said, is Sam Presti trying to win, or is he just trying to stay relevant? Because if he's trying to stay relevant, what you're going about right now, the Thunder will be in the playoffs and be relevant every year, but ain't going to win. Because he's not willing to do what it takes to put the people in the right places to make it go. Rhea says, if we go to the playoffs fully healthy, we should be able to handle anybody in the playoffs. No, you can't. That's no. You look at what the Mavericks have done. Like I said, they've matched the Thunder. You got 2 bigs that protect the paint. Then you went out and you got perimeter defense. You got 3 perimeter stoppers. We have 3 perimeter defense stoppers. We have Dort, Caruso, and Kaysen. They have 3 defensive stoppers on the wing. They've got 2 bigs in the middle. They've got AD and they've got Gafford. We have Ihart. We have Chet. They matched us. Now, we have the advantage as far as the man. Okay, 100%. We got we have the advantage there. Now, when Luka was there, then that was a little bit different offensively. But the problem is this. In the playoffs, it's about possessions. It's a half-court game. It's not a full-court game. So you got to play perimeter defense, which is why he went and got Ihart and he went and got Caruso. So to shore us up on the perimeter defensively and to shore us up inside the post. That's what he did. Now, the question is, Uh, yeah, AD went down. Yes, but we don't know how bad it was. But he went down today on his first game. He sure did. But they spanked Houston, and Houston's not a team to overlook either. But here's my thing: when you're trying to develop players and trying to make them more than what they're capable of, the mistake that you make is you give them confidence to do things that are outside of what they're capable of doing. Now, you can believe in them all you want, and this is coming from a guy who coached. Okay? And I'm just telling you, I knew that I had players, and I'm like, okay. And I try to develop, and I realized, okay, look, this is what you're really good at, so let me magnify what you're really good at. Let me put you in situations to magnify what you're really good at. Let me get this guy over here. You're really good at this. Let me magnify that. That's how you coach. You take what players are and you put them in the right spot, which is why everybody doesn't understand. But Showalter from Showalter from the Yankees. He was the Yankees coach before Joe Terry took over and won 4 in a row. Why? Or won 4 champions, 3 in a row. Won the 4th one later. But anyway, why is that? Because he understood that Showalter built the players up, and then he understood, okay, you belong here, you belong here, you belong here, you belong here. And that's how I look at it. And I was going over it earlier. This is what I want Aaron Wiggins. This is what I want Dort to do. This is what I want Joe to do. This is what I want Kaysen to do. This is what I want Caruso to do. This is what I want They have roles. Magnify what they're good at in their roles. Don't try to get them bigger or better than what they are for your own damn ego. Okay? Lakers trade was rescinded. No, that has to do with the big fella, because they didn't meet everything they were supposed to do in the trade. Luka's trade is done. That's done. That's a separate thing when they were trying to get the big guy, Mark. What's his name? That's who they tried to get. Possessions, yes, we do that as good as better as anybody in the league. No, we don't. That's one of our biggest weaknesses is lineups and understand floor of the game. One of our biggest mistakes, one of our biggest weaknesses is that right there, what you just said. That's not a strength, that's a weakness. And I can go over a game of, if you start watching the show more, you'll understand what I'm saying. No, that's 100. What you're saying about getting steals, that's totally different. Possessions, I'm talking about what you do with the ball, flow of the game. How do you make things work? Dagnall is fantastic at developmental players, and he's fantastic at getting points out of a timeout or after a timeout. He's great at those two things. He's horrible at understanding the flow of the game, and he's horrible at playing lineups, and he's managing minutes. Those things are different. Now, when you talk about what we do defensively, here, let me pull up the stat that you're talking about, okay? Let me pull that up, because I understand what you're saying. Here's our stats. The reason why we're winning is it's right here based on what you're saying. Boards ain't one. We're number 1 in points allowed, 104.4. We're number 1 in field goal percentage, 51.3. We're number 1 in three-point percentage, 32.8. We're number 1 in free throw percentage, just us knocking down free throws at 82. We're 70-something today. Points in the paint. We're number 1 in keeping the team out of points in the paint, 41.6. Assists. We average giving up 24.1 assists per game. That's 4th in the league. Okay? And we're getting boarded at the boards, but steals. Now, back to your thing. Number 1 in steals, 11.4. And then when you go over to giving up steals, they steal the ball 6.7 times from us. Turnovers, however you want to look at it. Blocks, 5.8. We had 9 last night. So Chet is good for another 4 blocks a game, which again does what? Shores up your defense. Gives the other team what? Less possessions. What does steals do? Give the other team less possessions. Gives you more possessions. Those are what your defensive side of the ball does, which the addition of Ihart and the addition of Caruso just did that for the Thunder. Okay? Now, turnovers. We take care of the basketball. 11.7 turnovers a game. We take the ball away, 18.2, okay, which is part of that. You look at steals. We turn the other team over 18.2 times a game. 11 of those are steals, which is what you're talking about, Vicente, okay? That's what you're talking about. 11.4 steals. They turn the ball over 18.2 times a game, okay? Now, in the second and fourth quarter, the opponents were 5th and we're 2nd in the fourth quarter. Why? Because he brings SGA in quicker in the fourth quarter than he did tonight. He brought him in with 3 minutes to go. I mean, I'm like, there was a timeout at there was a break at 6 minutes or 5 minutes. I'm like, you didn't bring him in, and we're on a text change. They're like, SJ's not in the game. We're like, it's Dagnall. He's trying to promote J-Dub. J-Dub is an all-star, and I can promise you, if he's coaching J-Dub, J-Dub is going to play a lot of minutes in the all-star game. I can promise you, he's going to give him as much exposure as he can possibly can. But to answer your Vincente, here's your deal. Number 1 in points given up. Number 1 in field goal percentage. Number 1 in three-point percentage. Number 4 in giving up assists teams, 24.1. We're only allowed 24.1 assists per game. We're number 1 in points in the paint. Pips, my favorite stat. Pips, points in the paint, 41.6. We're number 1. Steals, number 1 in taking away from the ball and taking care of the ball. Blocks, we're number 5, which is going to go up when Chet comes back, playing on a consistent basis. Turnovers, 11.7 that we turn the ball over, which means we take care of the basketball. 18.2 turnovers a game. That's why we're winning. So I understand what you're saying, Vicente, and I get it, but that has zero to do with you playing the right lineups to get things done. And the best lineups that you can play when we're fully healthy was SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Dort, and then K-Rich, okay, when we were smaller. Now it's going to be Chet. So the lineup I want to see is SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, and Chet, because I want Dort to play with J-Dub to shore up that side. And then on that side, when SGA is on the bench, I want AJ back, I want J-Dub, I want iHeart, and let me see, who is it? Let me see, J-Dub, Dort, iHeart, AJ running the point, and then you can put in a Kate Rich. Or if we're talking about the playoffs, you can switch in Kaysen, Caruso, or Wiggins. One of those 3 playing with that group. So I want Wiggins and those 3 playing with the double groups. But Wiggins performs better with SGA because SGA handles the ball and gives him wide open looks way more than anybody else does, because they tend to forget about Wiggins because they're so focused on SGA. But here's the key, too. Double team is going to come to SGA. Who do you hit with the ball at the top of the key? That's key. Now, Nathan doesn't want J-Dub catching the ball at the top of the key. He wants somebody else. I don't mind J-Dub, but he doesn't trust J-Dub's ability to dissect a play. So he doesn't. I'm, on the other hand, not opposed to that, but I like iHeart in the middle. I like Chet in the middle. I like Kaysen and Caruso in the middle. I like all of them catching the ball when they double team SGA for them to pop to the middle at the top of the key. I like all of that. And I'm okay with J-Dub, even though Nathan is not. So, but anyway, the Thunder took care of business tonight. We are off until Monday. And here is the schedule, the last game coming up, and this is what we've done. We have the Pelicans on Monday, and that game will be on FanDuel again. And we are 7-2 in our last 10 games. Remember, before this started, after we lost to Golden State again, the Mavs again, we were 2-4, 2-2 in our last, or was it 2-3 in our last 5 games? But you can see, just going by that, it was 2-3 because we won the game before. We beat the Jazz. So that's where we're at now. We're on a 5-game winning streak. We should beat the Pelicans game 6. Now, after we do that, we'll set up the next 10 games, because remember, on this show we do 10 games at a time, because that's a good tester on where we are. 10 games, what you win, what did you go, 8-2, 7-3, what have you done in those 10 games. So that's a good feel. So we play the Pelicans on Monday, which is going to kind of suck, because I'm not sure if I even really want to go to the game, because it's the Pelicans and we're going to blow them out. And I hate going to blowouts. I hate blowouts. I don't like them. I want the game to be close so you can make the moves, you can make the chess moves to make all the difference on both sides. Our coach, their coach, and see what each other does. So, but anyway, thank everybody for coming in the chat tonight. Appreciate you guys. It's Saturday night. Go out and have some cocktails and go have fun, because I'm going to go out and get me a cocktail right now. I'm going to leave right now, and I'm going to go get me a cocktail so I can get ready. I'm not going to get too messed up, because why? Tomorrow is what? The Super Bowl. And I don't know if you're for the Chiefs or you're for the Eagles. But anyway, it's going to be a great game. So, that being said, everybody have a fantastic day.